Greetings and salutations. So welcome to the Shobiz tutorial. It's a quick walk around on what you will actually see the moment you create an account with us. On the desktop side of things, on the web and desktop that is, this is the layout that most of the time you'll see. The first thing will be the point of sale, which will be your first tab. Here is where, as a business owner, you make your sales from. You simply search or scan the item that you are selling to the client. For example, I can type anything, click on it, then the quantity. Do I want 2 items, or how many items are you actually selling? Or even if there are so many, instead of clicking the plus or minus, you can just input the amount and then click update. Okay, and then once you satisfied, let's say the customer wanted 1 item, you just click complete the sale, and then that item will be sold. And then the moment you navigate to your sales history and click on that particular date, today is on 28th of May, you can actually see here this 1 item that we've just made a sale. But the big question is, before you arrive at the point of making the sales, what is the first thing that you need to do? For this to be possible, you have to have items on your inventory. What that means is that you have a record of all the things that you are selling within that particular shop or whichever business that you are dealing. And how you add your items is that you go to the inventory tab here and then click on add item, and then you have to select between either a product or a service in this case, because we believe that when it comes to businesses, there are businesses that are offering services and there are businesses that are offering physical products in that context. Now in this case, let's go with the, and then you can also have both services as well as the products. If I click on add product, I can key in the product name. Let me call it, let's say walnuts, and then key in my buying price. Let's say I buy one at 10 shillings and then sell a piece at 20 shillings. And then what are my quantities of these pieces that I'm selling? Let's say I have 30 pieces of this, and then you can add the barcode. You scan it, so you can automatically scan or even just leave it empty, because we believe that this is optional, because there are some items that you find that they don't have a barcode. And then the expiry date, this is very useful for items that expire within a particular set period. So you can select, let's say on 30th or something like bread or so that you get reminders prior about an item. All right, and then last but not least, there's this button of allow fractional sale, and that is during the time when you are dealing with the items that you give in you sell in portions, something like milk, sugar, or whichever item that you sell. Like you have a full quantity, but you have to sell it in bits, right? So that is when you click here, and then it will each time you are selling out that item, it will ask you for what is the quantity you are selling and even the price. So in this case, we are going to assume that the walnuts are you sell it per piece. Okay, and then you click add. If you go back to your inventory and then search for walnut, you'll actually see the item here. All right, and then since it's available, you can actually make a sale of that. Search walnut, and then how many do you want to sell? 3 or 4 pieces, complete sale. And then on your sales history, you will have that item here. All right, Not one item. You can actually sell multiple items. Let's say you have building that's a book. You have these melons. You have another item. Let's say this Royco mix. You have like that number of items. You have the total here. Let's say the customer also gave you 2,000 Kenyan shillings, gives you the change, complete the sale, and then on your sales history you will actually have this. All right, and then the beautiful thing about our application is that the moment a sale is made, whichever device that you are logged in, be it your mobile, everything you get updates in real time. Even if you are not at the shop, they will actually sync automatically. All right, this means that you don't, even as a business owner, you don't need to be at your shop for things to run. If you leave somebody behind, they don't have to do what? They don't have to be calling you each and every time. What is the price of, there's a this customer wants ABC. You don't even need to memorize the prices. You can see everything that is happening in real time as long as you are connected to an internet connection. And even the case when you don't have internet connection is that the moment the device gets internet connection, everything will sync automatically. All right. Okay, that is on the side of the sales. So, and then the other thing is, let's say there's an instance whereby you want to do what? To restock. You don't need, how do you do that? So you click on restock here, and then let's say we currently have 26 walnuts, and then we've added, let's say we have added another 30 pieces. You see, not that, 30. The moment I put 30 there, you see it was initially, currently is 26. If I add another 30, it gives me a total of 56. If I click restock, I will also have a restock history here, that anytime I want to go back and reference my restocking, how I've been doing it, I can always see an history there, and we have the new updated quantity there. All right. To delete, you have this three dot menu, show menu here. You can restock. You can go to the restock history for this particular item. You can edit or even delete. All right, and this is because we are set as the business owner. All right, the next step is the lending. This is where you add people that you've given your things on credit. Let's say I have John here, phone number optional, and what am I lending them? Let's say I want to give them a job. Click that. All right, so we have let's say a job, and then you have to put in the quantity. Let's say one piece. Click that plus. Okay, another item, let's say they want 2 pieces of bread, 3 pieces of black pepper, and so on. So the moment for it to be added to your cart, you have to click the plus for these items here that you want to give out, okay, on credit. All right, so like this one has refused because I currently have one. All right, I have one piece in my stock, so I also cannot sell more than whatever I have in stock. So in this case, I have to put in one for it to actually work. All right, okay, so once I'm done, I can click on save loan, and then the moment I come to my loans here, I will be able to see the list of all the people that I've given items on credit. And then let's say John, this is how much he owes me, has come back and they are saying that they cannot afford to pay me the whole amount. Then I can click on whichever amount they give me. Let's say they give me 3,000 Kenyan shillings. I can put in 3,000, click save. Okay, and then we can see the balance is 3710. If they pay the entire rest of the amount, I can settle them out. You can see everything changes. This is different from this. Okay, Alrighty, so that's the lending side. The expenses is where you put in all the expenses related to your business. For instance, the rent, the power, the transportation of materials, restocking. So you click on add expense. You say I've spent 1,000 shillings. This is the currency. You also have to, you can choose your currency. By default is the KES. And then I can say this was transport fees of materials. All right, the vendor optional, the payment method. How did I pay? I paid via M-Pesa or something. I can attach the receipt of that expense that I was issued and click on save. All right, so the moment I go back to, I can see that today being on 28th, I have spent 1,000 shillings on that. This is what I spent on Wednesday, and so on and also so forth. All right, business summary is the other tab here. So business summary, what it gives you as a business owner is it gives you a summary of all your outlets, because how our POS system is structured is that we believe that as a business person, maybe you don't own one business, you have multiple businesses that you are running, and it gives you a list. So in this case, I'm on the main shop. I also have these other shops. I can switch to those shops that and also see everything related, like, okay, this is what is happening at the main shop, this is what is happening Jomoko shop, and so on. And if I switch to a particular shop, let's say I've switched to this one, the moment I go back, everything, if I even come to my inventory, it will give me everything related to this shop, because that is currently what I'm logged into. I can edit or do whatever I want to do on this other shop, or even restocking or so on. And then the other thing on the business summary is that I can do what? I can switch outlets. So that is what we've seen here. I can also add outlets. I can add employees to those to be such that wherever they are, is they have a system that they are running your operations for you, doing the sales, doing all the things that we are actually doing on this one. So you just click add employee, put in their details, email, so on, temporary password that they will use to log into that device, and then you assign them the shop that they are actually managing. Okay, and then you give them permissions. What can they do? Can they do sales, stock taking, v inventory, and so on? And then you click create employee. Once you've done that, they will be able to, you give them the credentials, and then they can start running that shop for you and doing all that as you monitor everything. And then the other thing is that your employees don't get to see the other shop. Whatever they just see once they come to the business summary is just the shop that they are assigned to. Okay, that was the business. We also have the store, the back office. What the store now does is that we assume that let's say you have a store, or maybe your business has a store of the sort. That is where you put your most of the items, and then you restock your inventory. Let's say this cream, in this case, we've received a dozen, let's say 20 items. We can enter how many bundles of those we've received, and then click on add, and then we will have our store updated. All right, and each time we want to push items to the inventory, let's say our cream, currently we have 20 pieces,